It's 8:25, right on schedule. Got my 2 cups of coffee. I'm headed downstairs where I'll read about 18 newspapers in the next half hour.
I come in around 9:15, and I have read already the New York Times and the Washington Post.
It's 5 to 10 in the morning. I've gotten in late today, and there's a meeting at 10 o'clock. Right now, I'm getting a seltzer, which gets me through the morning meeting. It's flavored with raspberry.
This is the All Things Considered editorial meeting. This meeting starts at 10 o'clock sharp.
Thoughts, ideas. Looks like China.
The tone can be serious.
There's very little sympathy for the U.S. position on this.
The tone can be fun.
Get serious, okay?
Okay. The tone can be creative.
It's clear that there is some room for interpretation now as to what happened.
The entire All Things Considered staff gathered to talk about what we want to do on the show that day.
There's the clock.
Clock's God. Everybody follows that clock.
I'm completely clock-oriented.
It's 11:15. This is the board that, in my incredibly bad handwriting, I put up the order of the show and what's going to be where. Just when you think everything is going to be nice and easy, something always happens out there, and we always have to sort of blow up the whole thing and start all over again.
All we need is a telephone and a telephone receiver, and we can be on the air. But because we care about quality, we often try to find something better, be that a satellite, a high-speed phone line connection, an ISDN, something we could plug our tape recorders into.
We're just switching over to digital. We used to be analog, which is this machine here, which is editing tape with a razor blade. So now we're doing this all on computer.
This is like an artifact. This is back from March 1st. I mean, nobody bothers with this stuff anymore. This is probably waiting to be carted away.
From about 11 till 2, you have about 3 hours to deal with stuff, including eating your lunch.
Linda, she loves the meatloaf. She gets crazy for the meatloaf.
I love meatloaf sandwiches.
Noah brings his lunch almost every day. He's usually walking around eating a peanut butter sandwich.
Sometimes I wind up eating while walking down the hall. That's a bad day.
Starting around 2:30, things start gearing up.
Just put it in the Atc bin at the top.
Interviews start falling on top of each other.
You can cut that.
A lot of things need to be done before the show.
And there's real problems in the mix, and I'm totally confused with what's going on here.
About an hour before showtime, there's a dull hubbub that rises to a roar.
It's not only exciting, it's really chaotic and scary.
We know that we're not hearing one whole side of the board, and we don't know if that's just a speaker problem or if that's a board problem, if it goes out over the air.
No, they lost the speaker.
One more thing to add to the list of things that can go wrong. It's radio.
Once you're in studio, the storm is outside, and you're inside. Shelter from it.
4 o'clock, time to do the show.
Ready? Hit.
And this is All Things Considered from NPR News. We almost always start the show without the show being ready. Sometimes without even the segment that begins the show being ready.
Oh, there's always lots of near misses.
There can be times when we start at 4 o'clock when there is not one finished story.
I usually walk in with a stack of 12 or 15 CDs sort of at random, and while the show's on the air, I'll pick out the music.
If you ever hear a host begin reading something and they sound so calm and so relaxed, that could be a tip-off that they don't know what's going to happen, and they haven't seen the next paragraph.
And our job is to make all of this fairly invisible to the audience. China has detained the 24-member crew of a U.S. surveillance plane.
Yugoslav President Vojislav Koštunica said today,
President Bush's 2001 budget, not pleasant news for some environmentalists.
It's about 5:45 now. Things are starting to quiet down. Nina Totenberg's still checking to see where her story is or what's on the show, but everyone else is done sending things in. This is the time of day where people can start to think about the next day's program, what they have on their shelf, the damage done to themselves or our listeners during the day. It's a quiet time.
We ask people every day to do the impossible, and every day they do it, and they come back the next day happy to try and do it again.
This is never stopping fun. Every day I come in, I'm scared to death that they'll figure out that I'm just having fun and that they'll ask me to please leave or do it gratis.
One of the things that people say to me all the time about this show is that it does sound like we're having a good time when we're doing it. And we are. We are having a very good time.